Good evening, folks. BZ Watchdog here. I'm going to do a little recap on this Hillsborough corruption that I'm uncovering, and I'm going to start doing this in part 1 through however many parts it takes to expose the corruption. For those of you who live in the Hillsborough area or have a personal Hillsborough story, please reach out to me. My email is bzwatchdog@gmail.com. I'm going to have that right here on the screen for you. Please reach out to me or reach out to me on Facebook. It's also BZ Watchdog on Facebook. All my links are in my description to get a hold of me. Please come out and share your story. Please come out and speak at City Council. I'm going to go ahead and do a recap for those of you who don't know what's going on in the city of Hillsborough with this corruption. And let's get into what started this whole fiasco.
Hillsborough Public Safety.
Hey, this is Stephen Dennett Loves.
Yes.
Hey, I was calling because I got a lady that comes here quite often, just loiters around. I've asked her to leave. She got irate, tried to take pictures of me, and I need her criminally trespassed.
Where's she located at right now?
Right now, she's walking across the front of the property, going towards the McDonald's.
Okay. What is she wearing?
She has a brown ball cap, black sweat top, like blue or black pants.
Okay. White, Hispanic, black, female?
I believe white.
All right. I'll go ahead and get somebody else that way.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Haven't made contact with her yet.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I was going to
We're here to talk to her. Loves doesn't want her there.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes.
I'm Officer Gordon, Hillsborough Police Department. I had a couple questions for you. Did these come from Love's Travel Stop over there?
Yes, I told him I was leaving.
Okay. All right,
I was trying to get his name so I could call the corporate office, and he refused to give it to me.
What was going on over
I
there?
asked him to write his name down. He told me I was there every day this week, and I said that was a lie. I came in one day for about maybe 15 minutes. I got my soda, refilled my ice, and I got back in the car and left.
Okay.
And then the accused said I was there Tuesday. I said that was a lie.
Okay. So what was the issue over there? What was the argument about? And can you tell me exactly what happened?
He's accusing me of sitting there that I was just not a customer. I got a drink, and I was fixing to go and get a Subway sandwich when he basically accusing me of being there all week.
Okay. Can I get your name?
No, I'm not doing nothing.
Well, so here's the thing. You have to give him your name because
No, I
Loves.
did not.
Listen to me. Loves wants you criminally trespassed from there, so you can't go back to Loves. So
I got
we have
that.
to listen.
I got that.
No, listen to
No.
me. We have to identify you
I have to
so that we can
warn
criminal.
first.
And we are warning you, but we need
Okay,
your identification to warn you so that you can't go tell you can't go back to Loves. So are you refusing to ID?
I did not. I'm not even at Love's.
I understand that y'all
No,
understand that you're
I'm
not
not
there
even
anymore.
at Love's. I'm trying to order my
I understand that.
food.
Look, that's all in the past now, but we need your ID so we can
Issue you the criminal trespass.
You have to issue me a criminal
Yes, ma'am.
Trespass.
a warning first.
That's what we're issuing, a criminal
Okay, a
trespass warning. And then if you go back over there, you're going to jail. So do you have your license so we can issue that?
No,
Okay, then you're...
I don't have nothing on me.
You don't have any ID on you at all?
No,
something
I'm
with
waiting
your...
on my birth certificate.
You have something with your name on it?
My friend is bringing my birth certificate either now or Friday or whenever he gets here. And as soon as he gets here, I'm going to go get my ID.
Okay. And give him your name and date of birth so that we can get you the criminal trespass issued.
Look, I understand you're not there anymore, but they're a private property. If they don't want you there, they don't want you there.
I got that. I wasn't planning on going back.
I got you. What's your first name?
No, why do you need for a criminal warning?
To issue the criminal trespass warning in our system, we have to have your name so that we know who you are. So we need your name and date of birth to get this issued. Love's is going to provide us a statement saying they don't want you to come back on their property, and if you do, you go to jail. So we have to know who you are to get that logged.
You went over there to talk to them?
No, we came and found you first. We're going to go over there and get their statement in just a minute. Are you going to ID?
I told you, I don't have
Can
nothing.
you give me your first name, last name, and date of birth? That's all I need. We can make this go a lot quicker if you just give us the information and we can be on your way.
I'd like to order my food.
Okay, well, you just give me your first name, last name, date of birth, and you can order your food.
Are you refusing to ID? Yes or no? Do what?
Arrest?
For what?
No, you're being detained, though. You're detained so that we can get the criminal trespass issued.
Detained for what reason?
Detained so that we can issue...
What's your name and badge number?
Roseanne Lindeman, 228. Officer Perkins, 252. Officer Gordon, 260. Are you going to ID?
Again, what am I being ID for?
Do what?
So you can be issued a criminal trespass warning stating if you go back to Love's, you're going to jail. But if you're not going back there, no problem. All we need is your name, date of birth, so we can get you criminal trespass from there. You can order your food and go on about your day.
So are you going to ID or not? Because
Am I being threat of arrest?
Yes.
So I'm being threat of arrest.
You're not being threat of arrest isn't a thing. You're detained right now. You're detained, and we need to issue the criminal.
For what reason?
I've explained it to you 28 times. You're about to go to jail. You're being detained to get the criminal trespass warning issued to you. We need your name and date of birth to issue the criminal trespass warning from Love's. So that is the reason that we need that. So we need your name and date of birth to log the criminal trespass warning. And then we'll go to Love's and get their statement about them not wanting you back on the property, even though they already called our dispatch and told us. Otherwise, we would not be here talking to you. Because trust me, I have many other things I can be doing. So, can you please give Officer Gordon your name and date of birth?
I will give it underneath the threat of arrest. Because you just basically said I'm under threat of arrest for a warning. So
It's a criminal trespass. We have to know who you are. We don't know who you are. So how are we supposed to know who to trespass?
A warning you don't need
Yes,
to.
you do.
Yes.
No,
Yes, you do.
Okay.
We'll do the complaint later.
Okay.
That's fine. It's all on body camera, so you're fine. I mean,
Well, I'm glad it is.
So what's your
His
first
ain't
name?
on.
it's the red light. God, don't cuss at her.
What's your first name?
Amy Howell.
Amy, A-M-Y. Last name?
Howell.
Can you spell that for me?
Howell.
What's your date of birth?
275.
Do you have a Texas ID? Or have you ever had a Texas ID? Or
Yes,
is it from
it's expired.
Okay.
Do you know the number?
No, I do not. I have a Texas ID. And I know the law too. And we will be calling.
It's going to be Amy Howell, Adam Marion, Henry Ocean, William Edwards, Nathan Lincoln, date of birth 7/22.
Miss Howell, here's the thing. You're making this way more difficult than it had to be.
Y'all
All we
are-
had to do was identify you to issue the criminal trespass warning to put in our system.
Trespass, so I said that's fine. That's a trespass warning does not need to be.
It does. It has to be
No,
documented
it
in the system. So
you're
'cause it's
actually
good
not
for two-
issuing me a warning. You're issuing me an actual trespass.
listen. I don't know where you get your. I don't know where. Listen to me. I don't know where you have your law degree from, but let me explain it to you. A criminal trespass warning. I can't see your face when you have the camera in my face, so I'm good with you recording. But can you move it over here so I can see your face? So a criminal trespass warning is telling you that you can't go back over there. Now, if you were going to jail for trespassing, that would be after the criminal trespass warning is issued. So now we're issuing you the criminal trespass warning. We know who you are. Now if you go back over there, you'll go to jail for trespassing. So there's not a difference between issuing you a trespass warning and a trespass. Those are the same things. Those are not different things.
For deal number 13830213.
Alright. So just make sure she understands that she can't go back.
Alright, Ms. Howell, do you understand that you can't come back to Love's if you do, you'll be arrested?
Okay. Do you have any questions for us?
Can I have the slip?
We don't do that here in the city of Hillsborough. You can have a card with a call for service number if you would like that. Okay.
Can I have the CAD number?
That's what I'm saying. I'm guessing you run into a lot of police because otherwise you wouldn't be recording. You one of them First Amendment people who think you have the freedom of this and the freedom of that. So that's fine. We have a job to do. We have to get you trespassed, so that's what we're doing.
And we're not against good cops.
And listen,
bad cops.
We're not bad cops. We need your name to issue the criminal trespass warning. You do. You don't know the law like that, so.
Can I have any business cards?
I don't have any business cards.
I don't have one.
He's going to put my name on his, and guess what? His last day with the city of Hillsborough is Sunday, so you can make a complaint on him, but it ain't going to go nowhere. He's going to a different department.
He's actually just like I don't know why it's 3 people anyway, but.
Because I'm training him. He's here as a backup officer. I'm training Officer Gordon.
I could have been eating my breakfast right now, but I'm not.
I mean, you're the one that cussed at her, and she likes you. I've been nice.
That's the CAD number?
Yep.
It's the call for service number.
Case number. Alright.
Do you have any more questions for us?
Nope.
All right, you have a good day. It depends. If McDonald's calls us and wants you trespassed, then yes, we'll be back and you'll see us
So
again.
after these bad cops, and with the exception of Officer Gordon, who was new and in training and didn't know any better, these officers obviously didn't know the law. With criminal trespass, you were issued a warning, but they didn't go talk to the complainant. They didn't go to the location. They tracked her down and literally forced her to ID under the color of law. That's official oppression. An officer can be charged with a crime. I currently have one officer being investigated for the same instance over in Beverly Hills, Texas. Now, we went to file a complaint, and I was wondering why they don't have any citizen complaints, and I was wondering why no officers, after getting all these disciplinary records, have really had any write-ups whatsoever. I'm going to get into that later. But this threw up a red flag about the corruption and the rogue elements we have here in Hillsborough within the police department, Department of Public Safety. And you're going to go ahead and see what transpired and how this internal affairs complaint got returned. Now, according to the law, Mr. Sparks here is going to hand me, it states it only has to be in writing and it has to be signed, which it was. So there's no policy that I have to follow to fill out a form and to get it notarized and jump through all these hoops. In fact, Mr. Sparks himself is a notary, so why didn't he sign that as a notary right there? Things that make you go, right? That should be one question. Why did they do everything they could to refuse this internal affairs complaint? Well, folks, just keep watching and find out.
When did I file a complaint? Had an incident last week?
Last Wednesday.
Last Wednesday, involved 3 of your officers.
Okay.
And the main one is a lieutenant.
No. Corporal.
Oh, that's right, my bad, corporal. I was thinking lieutenant.
Corporal Roseanne Lindemann.
Corporal, and it was basically just giving me a verbal trespass warning not to go back to Love's, and.
Okay. Have you by chance seen the video? The reason I asked is because a city council member has seen the video. I can't really indulge who the city council member is. I'm an activist. I'm going to be speaking at city council about this matter. I've spoken with the city council member. He'd like us to do the avenues I normally do, which is file the internal affairs complaint.
That's our normal.
Yeah, no, and I don't mind doing that and getting the process. She's the one that was there. I'm the one that covered it on my channel, or like a few hours later, because she sent me the video regarding the laws. And what she did was basically, under threat of arrest, force her to ID when she wasn't even on the property of the alleged criminal. She just doesn't like talking with officers, so that's kind of why I've kind of interjected a little bit. But I'll let her continue.
This is for your content. On your
Why are you saying
channel.
content like this, sir? Freedom of press? Reporting journalism?
On your channel.
We're just documenting, turning it
Let me
in that
get
way.
you a complaint form, and you can fill that out, and
Just
we take
a
all
complaint.
complaints serious. I mean, and I don't have a problem with that. I mean, if it educates people, we get educated, the community gets educated, I don't have a problem.
I
with that.
document
We don't have
everything.
anything to
I
hide.
document with everything with law
The
enforcement
problem
because I've not had some good things. I've
Well,
had.
The
I
main thing
understand
with
that.
her is that, like I said, like you were saying, I wasn't even on the property anymore, I've done left.
Mhm.
She's also was a field training officer, so the officer she's training needs to be trained correctly, not
Mhm.
as we're feelings
Right.
and stuff. And then she also, the other officer that was there, she basically came right out and said that, can file a complaint on him, he ain't gonna go nowhere, cause he ain't gonna be here after Sunday.
She was referring to Perkins.
Okay.
And then Gordon, she was training, and the information and with what she did is training Gordon wrong out the gate. That's what I don't think Gordon is. I didn't think his character was like intentionally trying to be bad.
No.
I think he was just getting bad training and was following the lead with his. I mean, he was on Wednesday. He was only on the job for 37 days. So.
And she wasn't really letting either one of them talk.
Well, let
I
me
asked for badge numbers, and she interjected on both of them. Normally the officer.
Well, like I said,
give
we'll
the
look
wrong name
at
and
every
badge.
incident, and we have a formal complaint form I'll have you fill out. And
Can we
then-
do this, since it's all typed up and it's 3 pages? Is there any way that we can attach it to your complaint
sure.
form and then have her sign the complaint form, and
Totally-
this document?
Yeah, I don't have,
I
just
just
see,
signed
you
it.
can run in there, see,
Yeah.
supplement, it's fine.
Yeah,
It has a
that's-
place for writing that
Yeah,
too.
that's fine. Because I just no
You
point
helped
in
her
writing
with
all
this.
that.
I'll just put on there, see attachment.
And all we just need is just a copy and time date stamp that we turned it in. That's all we need. And all we just need,
So after
is
these
just a copy and time date stamp.
Bad cops,
That's all we need.
and with the exception of
Like I
Officer
said, we're
Gordon, who
not
was
trying
new
to,
and in training and didn't know any better.
Cause any issues like I ran into Corporal Watson earlier.
These officers obviously
very
didn't know the
professional,
law.
very
With criminal
courteous,
trespass,
polite,
you were issued a warning, but they didn't
And
go
I'm just
talk to the
hoping-
complainant.
What's
They
that?
didn't go to the location. They
Well,
tracked her
the one thing I
down
did catch while we were sitting
and
here waiting
literally
for
forced her to
lunch be
ID
over
under the color of
was
law.
a
That's
sergeant
official
who's on
oppression.
duty who
An officer can
obviously
be
took
charged
it
with a crime.
lightly and thought it
I
was
currently
kinda
have one
funny
officer
to sit
being
here
investigated for
and
the same
roll
instance
through
over
here
in
going over
Beverly
50
Hills,
miles an hour
Texas.
on my live stream
Now,
here now.
we went to
Just
file a
kinda-
complaint, and I was wondering
we've already got a
why
court
they
issue
don't
with
have any
Linderman.
citizen
Like,
complaints.
That's a serious
And I was
issue.
wondering why
Not nearly as bad as what we saw earlier.
no
but,
officers, after getting all these disciplinary records, have really had any write-ups whatsoever. I'm going to get into that later. But this threw up a red flag about the corruption and the rogue elements we have here in Hillsborough within the police department, Department of Public Safety. And you're going to go ahead and see what transpired and how this internal affairs complaint got returned. Now, according to the law, Mr. Sparks here is going to hand me, it states it only has to be in writing and it has to be signed, which it was. So there's no policy that I have to follow to fill out a form and to get it notarized and jump through all these hoops. In fact, Mr. Sparks himself is a notary. So why didn't he sign that as a notary right there? Huh?
I know who probably.
Things that make you go, huh, right? That should be one question. Why did they do everything they could to refuse this internal affairs complaint? Well, folks, just keep watching and find out.
Trying to, cause any issues. Like I ran into Corporal Watson earlier. Thought he was very professional, very courteous and polite. So, you know, and I'm just hoping.
That's what I like to hear.
What's that?
That's what I like to hear.
Well, the one thing I did catch while we were sitting here waiting for lunch to be over was a sergeant who's on duty who obviously took it lightly and thought it was kind of funny to sit here and roll through here doing over 50 miles an hour on my live stream. Out here now, you should just kind of.
Well, they're always out there.
Because we've already got a court issue with Linderman. Like that's a serious issue. Not nearly as bad as what we saw earlier, but
Let me get this complaint here.
all right.
Okay, this is our complaint. Gives you the law on that. Okay. And then this is the actual form itself. And you just fill in the officer's name, all the information you can on that, your information, and then you sign and notarize that. And then here, where it says describe what happened, you can just put C that form right there.
Okay.
Okay. Can you help her out with that?
Well, the thing is, I don't think she's gonna be able to get that notarized.
Okay.
And the reason
the notary here?
Well, here's the thing. I know what the notary's gonna need is, notary's gonna need your ID. You don't have a valid ID because it has an expiration
Yeah.
date.
I don't have valid, so.
You don't have a valid ID?
No, I'm trying to get it as of now, but no, I don't
She's
have
waiting
it.
on her birth certificate to come to be able to do all that. So,
You have any other identification that you can show the notary?
yeah, because I already know the notary. I've already been through all this whole process. I know the notary's gonna need something with a valid ID and stuff like that.
Right. So you want to, how much time do you think it's going to take you to,
Since when do you even need it notarized anyway?
You don't technically need it notarized, but if you wanted to pursue criminal charges, notary would help. And we already have stated on there 3903, which is Texas Criminal Procedure Code for criminal oppression. It's official oppression, use of office.
so I'm gonna supply you this, and then you want to, can you help her with that?
Well, I mean, I can't.
I mean, you've already applied for your,
No.
I mean, she's got to get her birth certificate. Once she gets that, then she can run down and, you know,
yeah,
once
you
she
get that at any courthouse or, so.
Well,
But anyway, can you help her with that if she needs help?
well, she's gonna have to pay for all that if she doesn't have the money. I mean, it's because you got to pay for the birth certificate, you got to pay for the ID. Like I said, I'm just helping her. I'm not with her.
So
I'm
pretty
just
much
talking
what
about-
this is anyone of low income status pretty much can't file a complaint here in Hillsborough.
And that's not, that.
What it sounds like
You
to
can
me.
fill that in and bring it back in. I mean,
That's
we're taking
exactly what
complaints.
it sounds like to me.
your policies aren't online, are they? So that's right. I already did a records request for them. That's right. That's right. The Hillsborough doesn't have them online. I had to think about it for a second because I've done so many requests this week.
So, you want to fill that out, bring it back, and, you know, we take all complaints serious, we do. If nothing else, it's education, so.
They don't want to accept it. They have to have it notarized. That's fine. I'll go to city council and speak about how you can't file. I understand not filing an
I'll write a
anonymous complaint.
speech and I'll go up there.
Yep.
Because that sounds exactly to get, you know, to get it taken seriously, to be notarized, and the fact that that's
Well,
pretty
it's
much
just confirming,
saying,
a notary just confirms the
that's
signature,
pretty much
it.
why nobody of low income, they get harassed and
Well,
treated like they do.
I mean,
Because nobody can
I've
file a
only,
complaint.
and all the complaints I've ever filled out, and all my complaints are founded. And I'll tell you right now, I've only needed a notary one time, only because I insisted on it. I've
Okay.
never had any department ever require it.
Complete it, bring it back, whichever way, and, you know, we'll look at it.
I mean, she's got the complaint. She's got the complaint right there. Why do we need to go back and fill it? You're being a major pain at this point, and not just.
I'm not trying to be, I'm trying to supply you with the complaint, written complaint form.
We've already supplied you with a complaint that we can clearly attach, which is what I thought we were doing when you went back there to get the complaint form.
You own it, like I said, you fill it out, attach it, bring it back.
Does the city manager run the town here, or is it mayor? It's the city manager, ain't it? Okay. Okay. We'll just go to the city manager's office next.
Okay, so,
That's
all right.
I want some asses. At this point, I want some asses.
I'm sure.
I guess
Hey,
they
bud.
didn't get enough of it last Wednesday, huh?
That's right. They don't want to take the complaint. I may just bypass it and just hit the city with an intent to sue.
Well, I didn't say I wouldn't take the complaint, I said we.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's
sign it,
gotta
bring
be
it back.
notarized.
At this
That's
point,
signed.
okay.
So-
Well, she has no problem signing it, but now she's here physically. It's not like somebody signed it on her behalf or she signed it and.
Like I said, fill it out, attach it, sign it, bring it back. We'll be glad to take it. Okay? All right. Appreciate it.
BZ Watchdog.